I've seen a lot of comments saying the reason why this is a secret weapon is actually I can reduce my slice, I can reduce my hook, and I've been also seeing a lot of people are thinking of not having a driver in their bag, almost binning it, and putting this in play as well, because the technology, and that's what I want to test. So this is what it says online, right? And this is what I'm really interested. Power meets versatility. It should go a long way. So it's got to compete with driver length for me to hit that piece of technology. Now the really interesting bit is, and this is what I was meaning about reducing slice, these are two 2.5 gram weights, and these are two 15 gram weights. This allows me to move the CG around, or I should say anybody, to make it more draw bias, and significantly more they say, or more fade bias. So you could take a slice out your game, take a hook out your game. Let's see how it goes. Plus, the final piece, the secret weapon is built for distance and versatility off the deck. So that leading edge right there, they say this gives you a club that you can hit off the deck. Now, I'm interested in trying every single piece of tech, so let's start with all out distance. For this to be a competitor, and I've teed it up around 3 wood, I've got to be getting 250 plus carry, right? That's what I've got to be searching for here. So let's see if it gets over that first stumbling block of that distance. Right, target, line, 200 yard marker. Let's see if we can get it anywhere near that line, plus, don't forget, it has to be over that 250 mark carry. Oh, that's like frozen rope. That sounded a lot, I don't know, tinnier than I thought off the face. Numbers are in. It's not far off, it's not far off. 242 carry, 154 ball speed, 106 clubhead speed. So that's a little bit lower than I thought. That's still very competitive, and that's okay. It's the first shot I've hit with this, to be fair, in this video. Right, okay, let's smash a few more with it teed up like a 3 wood. It's mad, I actually feel really quite close to this, and the head doesn't feel too small. Look at that! It's flat, isn't it? But it's still got a good peak height on it. I reckon that's around 80 feet, that, like the last one. That is literally the same. 243 carry, 155.4, and I should have mentioned this in the last one, right? Look at these, all shots, carry, and let's go total, 278 for them both. Now that is pretty consistent. And in terms of dispersion, you could literally throw a blanket over them. Now, I mentioned that head, have a look at that down there. It's that sort of carbon with the outer white. I think sort of makes it look a little bigger than a mini driver, in a good way, in a good way. I kind of like the sort of addition of that carbon in there. It looks good. What are your thoughts though? Like, there's so many drivers that have got that similar design now, and this is the first mini driver of 2025 that's hit the market. I like it. I like it a lot. That's where we hit them two, pretty much in the same place. Right, I just want to hit one more. I want to see if I can get that over that 250 carry marker. But at the minute, I can see why people are hyping it up, but on that distance side of things, that is a little down for me. Accuracy, that's got to say something, right? I want to know, not even PXG, how many people actually own a mini driver. I think they're going to be like, well, they're becoming way more popular, especially after last year. Right, here we go. Oh, little T's do me in there. Right, shot number 3 off the tee. Come on, let's get it over that 250 marker. Oh, that's got to be it. It's a little bit up the right. It's a little bit higher. Hold on, the fairway. Joking me. 249. That spin's seriously consistent, right in where I would really want to see it. Average of 2,500, 107.7 club speed, 153 ball speed, 263 total, 249 carry, just short. But you know what? 5-6 yards shorter in terms of carry, but that dispersion, I think most people, and I can get why the hype is here, would take that. Right, so next point is about this adjustability. This is one of the things that I actually really love about this, and they have a description of how you can do this on their website, but I'm going to do it if you hook the golf ball first. So what we're going to do is, we're going to move the 15 gram weight into here, okay? It's going to move it out this way. Therefore, it's going to reduce the closure of the head. So if you're a golfer who hates seeing the ball go left, probably more for sort of lower handicappers, we'll get on to slice in a second, this is the setting you want to try. So let's actually see if it does what it says on the tin. I'm excited to see if this works. And out of everybody that's got a mini driver, do you see it go the exact same distance, or is there a slight drop off, but you're happy to trade that slight drop off for better accuracy? I think a lot of people would probably jump in the boat of going, yeah, you know what, I can deal with that. I'm happy with that. Right, here we go. Let's pop that in there. There we go. That's the 2.5 moved into the heel, 15-15. This should mean we just take the left side of the golf course out of play. So, let's see. Again, we're going to go off the T-peg, because that's what we did before. A lot of people say that these things and these effects of moving CG slightly is negligible, but let's see what it does in a mini driver. Right, remember, 200s are fairway. I didn't anticipate it would move that much. It certainly wasn't going left. Right, let me try that again. Let me aim a bit further left. I'm not trying to fade this, by the way. And look where I hit it. Right, slap bang, out the middle. And to be fair, I've hit nothing toe, nothing heel. That's that shorter shaft, that. And I think that's one of the reasons why people feel a lot more confidence. It's 43 3/4 this shaft length. Right, I'm going to aim, not trying to fade this. We're going to aim this one down the left. Does that just carry two? No. 248, I thought it carried 250. Right, let's aim it down that left. Again, I'm not trying to fade it. This is moving CG out towards that toe. I tried to wrap my hands over that. Look at it move left to right. It's probably moved left to right 30 yards. Yes, a little bit excessive, but that's still hitting a fairway, because I guess I was aiming down there, right? So I can confirm it will stop you hitting it left. So if you are a big hooker of the golf ball, having that ability to move CG there, favourable. Right, I'm intrigued about this one though, because I think a lot of people go to a mini driver because they're like, right, you know what? I really want that ability to reduce my slice. So what you need to do here is, if that setting is for you, we want to move CG in towards that heel. So if you look, 15 gram weight in here, and you've got a few options here for me. You could either move it into this one. Let's move the CG lower and further back. You're going to make it more draw and a little bit higher launch in. But because we just moved it forwards on the last one, we'll do the opposite of what we just did. So we'll move it into that front bay, not the back little compartment. Otherwise, it's not quite a fair test. If we put it in the back on the last one, we would have put it in the back on that one. All right. And if I then move CG like right into the front, so 15 and 15 here, I'm going to make it a little bit less forgiving. And the reason why they put the initial heavier weight on the perimeter, just to help MOI. And all you got to think about that is it's just helping that forgiveness. All right, I think we're ready to go here. So I'm going to test myself here. I'm going to aim. I'm not going to try and draw this. So remember, our fairway is the 200. Wonder what happens if we aim over that, between the 150 and the 100. Wonder if it'll move back enough. Let's see. T keeps flinging off because it's a little broken number. I hate breaking tees. Right, we're in. I'm going to aim. Again, not trying to draw. Just going to aim sort of just right at that 150. Let's see what it does. That was bullet straight. Did I put the weights in the right spot? That's what I'm thinking right now. That was smoked. Just checking here. It is 15. There you go. I mean, to be fair, if you look at that last shot, I was aiming ridiculously out to the right. It didn't slice, it was just straight, so you couldn't argue it about that. Didn't really have much right to left on it, but there's only one shot. I mean, it could have been maybe slightly out the heel, slightly, I don't know. But let's set another one with it exactly set up the same as we have it right now. That CG in towards the heel. See what happens. I did like how that ball was like sort of like a knuckleball when we had it in neutral. Let's see if we get the same this time, but with a bit more right to left. I really want to know if the hype is actually a hype, right? If it's worth it, if it does what it says on the tin. So, 150 now. Let's see what happens here. Oh my God, look at that move. That was just a baby draw. That's one of the shots I enjoyed the most. It's just short of that 250 again. But where did I just finish? So, yes, moving CG, moving the weights is very favourable, and it does have some effect. For me personally, because I'm a little bit more fade biased, moving it more towards fade really makes me fade it. Moving it more towards draw makes me just straighten up. Well, that's fine. What I want to say is, if you're an extreme of that, if you're a slicer, you'd put it in draw, it would straighten you a little bit. That is what this want to do. Don't need to hit these, but if you were to move the CG right towards the back, so move the heavy weight here, and you could replace, you could put 2, 2, 2. You can buy extra weights and just put the 15 at the back. You could make it a little bit more high spinning. But essentially, I think most people, if you want it in that neutral, you would have the 2 gram weights in the middle and the 15s. Let me show you. Place this, you take a 15 out of here. So we're going to put it back now. And we're going to put it back in here, the 2 back in here, hits them off the deck. It's also got 13 degrees of loft. You can make it, it's in standard, I had it. You can make it higher, you can make it lower, you can essentially change that side of things as well. Also, head cover game, I like it. It's just like a bit of yellow in there. I kind of like the sort of like the rubbery imprints of secret weapon. Secret weapon, what do you think of the name? It's a secret. It's a secret weapon. Not very PXG, is it? But it could be the secret weapon, right? Because people are gonna maybe not have driver in the bag and have this. Now, the ultimate test is this now a club I can use off the deck? That's the face, so look at that leading edge. It's sort of quite flat, very 3-wood-esque in this sort of section if you sort of covered up that. Very similar, so that should help. I'm interested in this because for this to be a real, I guess, secret weapon, it has to work off the deck. Right, I'm gonna, just a couple maybe. See how the first one goes. Let's see what numbers we get. I wonder what you think of this. Let me know in the comments. Like, is this a club you're thinking, yeah, you know what, it's got me intrigued. I could have this. There we go. Now that's gonna land like a butterfly with sore feet. And if you can get it doing like that, say, that's not to be sniffed at. 151 ball speed, 256 total. Don't think there's much more you need from a club. Shorter shaft, easier to manage, a bit more loft, easier to manage. I think it's a real secret weapon. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe.